Hey everyone, this is the Josh and Dewey podcast. My name is Dewey.
And this is not Josh, this is John.
And we have a special guest today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Alice.
Hello, Alice.
Hey Alice.
Are you Alice, like Alice in Wonderland, Alice?
No.
We would just like to thank Alice for joining us. John and I sort of forced her into this. But yeah, welcome to the Sunday after. Just to clarify, Josh Lee is not with us today. Should we explain why he's not here?
Because he's a flaker.
Hey, Josh, I didn't say it. It's still going to be the Josh and Dewey podcast, so don't worry. We're not going to replace you.
Just so you know, it's 12 o'clock at midnight.
But yeah, so Josh is not with us, but we have John and Alice, so thank you for just being our guests, our special guests, and everything like that.
No problem. It's my house.
Yeah. So yeah, today's the Sunday after, and we just wanted to tell you that the Sunday after is just sort of a podcast where we just touch on light topics about life,
Whatever we feel like.
Yeah, exactly. I think last week was about the top 3 actors, and today will be about The Chase.
Yeah, The Chase.
Yeah, so Dating Perspectives. It's a whole new series that we're going to be touching on for the next couple of weeks. And so today's topics will be The Chase. So what is The Chase exactly? The Chase is the part right before you make it official with being a boyfriend and girlfriend. And it's just sort of that awkward time of what are we? Sort of like a tug and pull. So
Yeah.
let's just get everyone's perspective on it real quick. So John, what goes through your mind during The Chase? I know it's been a while, but...
Yeah, definitely. Well,
I guess do you want to talk about your background real quick?
Well, the last time I was like openly dating was like around high school, late high school, and like maybe like freshman year of college, and then till then, I was just a busy bee working.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't doing the birds and the bees. I was just being a bee.
So I guess since it's been a while for you, can you remember the last time with your current girlfriend,
definitely.
how that chase came about, and
With
what
my
was
current girlfriend.
with your current? Oh yeah, it's just current
My
girlfriend.
current girlfriend. Well, our dynamic is very different because our chase, I guess, it was awkward in its own way because we were friends for a long period of time.
And again, that's where it's sort of murky in a sense because you don't know.
We're trying to figure out. We're just trying to take the next step and we're trying to figure it out. But I think personally, for me, my personality is I just say things straight up.
Mm-hmm.
So, which some girls like and some girls don't.
So would you say because y'all started out as friends, you couldn't really tell when it actually started, the chase exactly?
Well, yeah, that's definitely hard to tell, But I think that entire period is itself like so confusing, And then like it's just like the entire human population is based off of the fact that we have to go through this awkward phase. And
like who invented it? Like who
I know.
invented this awkward stage that nobody
Why
likes?
do we have to do this? Like why is it that, like it has like why can't it just be simple like, hey, I like you, you like me, let's go out. But it's never like that. It's always like, oh, like when should I confess? I don't know, like how am I supposed to do this without sounding creepy or whatever.
And it's especially harder for you because y'all were friends for a while. So it's like, how do you all of a sudden transition that to, I like you, you like me? Okay, let's go out.
I don't know, like sometimes like we're like, like it's this whole like confession thing, right? And like you bring up all this courage, especially for men, like you bring up all this courage to say something, and then like most of the time you get turned down. And you're like, what? Why was my efforts turned down in vain? And then like of course like it's obviously because the girl's not feeling anything, but guys don't want to accept that.
So chiming back to the original question of what was going through your mind, what specifically were you feeling? Even though it's kind of hard for you to really pinpoint when it was the chase, but do you remember exactly what was going through your mind?
Well, okay, she asked me out.
Okay.
So that's why, she asked me out first. So that's why, to me, it was like, oh my God, like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, is this what girls feel? Because, like, I don't know how to respond. And I'm like,
yep.
this is weird. And I'm like, basically, in blunt case, we were very blunt. It was just like, I think she was very nervous because, she had said it. And she did it over the phone. And then basically, like, she just said it and hung up, and then like turned her phone off, and I'm like, wait. I'm like texting her. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what's going
Wait,
on?
so you're telling me you didn't see this coming at all? Like, there wasn't like one-on-ones, a lot of one-on-ones that kind of led up to that moment?
Not really. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know, because we were just so comfortable with each other. It wasn't like
Yeah.
we were noticing each other's feelings like that strongly at that moment. You know, it was like we.
But it sounds like she did.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't think this is mutual. I'm pretty sure she liked it.
It's
like
probably
you.
because like you, everyone knows me here. Like I'm pretty dense on that. You know,
Yeah.
like, I don't have a lot of nunchi with girls.
Nunchi means awareness.
Yeah, like with
Being
girls'
sensitive.
feelings, because girls are complicated
Yeah, no, I agree. We can't read their minds.
for no reason. Why are they confusing?
Gosh, Alice, what is wrong with your race?
There is a reason.
What do you mean? Okay, first of all, like so many girls, like they think it's logical, but whenever I think about it, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like girls in general.
So what happened then? So she asked you out, or I guess confessed her love to you.
Yeah.
Hung up. You tried reaching back to
Yeah,
her.
well, eventually, you know, we talked about it because again, like we were comfortable enough to like talk about it because we're.
So it sounds like a really quick chase then, because y'all.
It was
It
pretty
wasn't a
quick.
long chase.
Maybe for her. For her, it was a long chase, not for John.
No.
But I guess like what was even more awkward was because it wasn't really the first part, which is usually the awkward part. It's the like when you're actually in the relationship, you know, because we're trying to define it, you know, because we were friends for so long, like we didn't know how to be like, okay, so should we act differently now, like because we're dating?
So
know,
you
like,
reciprocated her feelings right away.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You know, like in you know, because that was just my feelings. You know, that was simple. You know, but you know, like the whole beginning part of the dating phase, we were just still kind of like, are we dating? I don't know. You know, because like we were friends and we're just like, I don't know how to define the relationship, because usually if in the beginning, if you get past that hump, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, we're dating now. You know.
That's
So-
true. That's true.
So for me, that most of my chase experience was like in the relationship. It was while I was in it.
Yeah.
Because it, you know, like because of our past relationship before, and I think that's also why there's a lot of fear when
Yeah.
friends are trying to like, you know, get together, because there's a risk of like you may lose your friendship. But you know, I think if you have a good friendship that's honest with each other and it's not like superficial, like it should be very natural. You know, like that's what happened with me and Sirwan right now, is that we're very natural about things. You know, and it's very comfortable. You're very comfortable with each other because you're just like, I don't have to put up a face. I don't have to like try to do my mating ritual. You know, like, I don't have to be this like
This
you
little
know,
bird
like,
that's like
look
dancing.
at my feathers. You know, like I'm just like, yo, I'm a bird. You know, I just walk around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like your case is very
Definitely. Like I would
special.
say mine's
Very
very
special.
case. But I've had other experiences where like
Yeah.
again, like I would ask girls out and then, you know, just get shut down. You know?
Oh, that's the absolute worst.
Yeah, it's the worst. You know, and then like especially when, you know, but honestly, like if I were to think about a girl's perspective, like it is very brave of them to say like yes. Because like again, like a strange guy just came up to you and you're like, hey, I like you. You know?
Creepy.
Yeah, of course it's creepy. There's not a non-creepy way of saying it, because it's just like I like you.
And the thing is, it's not gonna come off as It's not gonna come off creepy if the girl obviously likes
Yeah,
him
so
back.
that's the thing. It's like if the girl at least has some feeling in the beginning, she's not gonna find it creepy.
Exactly.
But again, if he doesn't at all, it's like, oh, you're creepy, you know, and that it's not up to us to decide that. That's why it's like so hard, because we just gotta throw ourselves at you, and you're like, no.
So, like, in my perspective, I feel like the guys don't need the chase, but the girls really need it. I mean, Alice, do you kind of agree with that?
No.
You don't at all?
No.
Because I feel like for guys, it's like John said earlier, we just want to say, I like you. Do you like me back? So let's just go straight to it. But I feel like girls sort of need that affirmation. Okay, he does like me. I am worth it. So let's do this tug and pull game. Because you don't want to go straight into it right away, because he could just leave me immediately.
Some girls like that. But I don't think that's healthy at all. to start any relationship.
to allow that chase to
yeah.
be like that.
Because if you push and pull, then like you're like half in, half out. You're not fully committed. You're half committed, and you're just playing with your feelings, and you're not being honest to yourself or to that person.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, for me, but then I know there are girls out there who likes doing that. They like taking.
Do you wanna
advantage.
name some of those girls?
No,
That's such a nice.
I don't
answer.
know anyone.
That's a nice answer. Well, I guess like what about you? Like, what goes on through your mind when like, again, like okay, like if a guy like comes up to you, right?
Mhm.
Like what? Okay, like what if there was a guy that was like, oh, like that he's interesting, right?
Mhm.
And like, what is going through your mind when like, like what in general, like what is going through your mind when you're trying to get that guy's attention? Like what's happening?
Wait, is this assuming Alice is chasing the guy?
Yeah, in some cases.
So if the girl's chasing the guy?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't purposely do it, but I do know that when I'm interested or I like someone, I don't talk to them.
Well, what do you expect the guy to do? Let me
Treat
clarify the
him like
question.
an invisible person.
That makes no sense
What do you
logically.
expect the guy to do then? What do you expect the guy to do?
I don't expect him to do anything.
Well, the guy can't do anything because she's not letting any signs
but
towards him.
That's just like that's me because I don't want to do any chasing. It's like
I see.
Wait, but
I
wouldn't
just don't give any
or-
signal.
But this is the thing. I don't think girls necessarily chase, but I think girls do hint some things. Wouldn't you agree? I know you're not maybe go out of your way to like hit him up.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you say you do leave
Yeah.
subtle hints?
Yeah.
What would general girls like expect? Because I'm, like again, if they're like you, like I don't expect anything. They're like, well, I have to say something, and like, what am I supposed to do? If I say something, it's like it's a complete for us. It's just a complete throw, like a ball throw, and.
You have to be more specific. Like, what kind of situations did you
Okay,
feel like she was
because I
expecting
think
something?
There's
but then
so
you
much.
didn't.
I feel like hesitation, especially with guys when we finally get the courage to say it. There are always ways that girls, I guess, like try to preserve the relationship. Like you deserve better, things like that.
Sugarcoating.
Yeah, and then but you don't understand. Like for guys, like does that mean I still have like.
It's the same for guys to girls too.
I
Guys
feel like-
say that to girls too.
I feel like for me, it's
Really?
like
Yeah.
why
say?
doesn't she notice
What am I saying?
why doesn't she notice these things I'm doing differently for her? I guess
Yeah.
it's like I'm spending more time with you. I'm taking you out. Yet a lot of the times they'll act. I don't know if they're acting naive or they really are being
Yeah,
naive
yeah,
in a
yeah.
sense. So it's like. Now I'm only investing all this time on you, but I just wasted so much money.
Yeah, I
now I'm broke.
Like I'm doing all this stuff, and then like.
I don't know. Like, would you say girls act naive, or those kind of girls are being naive?
They act naive.
They act naive, so they do know what's going on.
That's so.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to tell anything that's going on. I'm like literally so clueless to these things because I'm just like. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And then I do it, and then I get the opposite result. And then like when I don't try to do it, it's like what do you want me to do? No matter what I do, things are not gonna happen the right way.
And that's the thing. Is there a right way of doing the chase? Like, is there a right way?
I feel like you should just be upfront. Honestly, like things shouldn't have to be.
Yes.
But like when can you be that upfront? Because I mean, for you, as you and Sir were friends, so I feel like y'all could have done it any time.
People just have to get to this mutual understanding that just like, you know what? We just do it. That's it.
But girls and guys aren't always on the same page
I think
if
there's
they're
just,
friends.
there's just we create so many of these like experimental phases, like, oh no, let's just like try to know each other,
Wishy-washy.
understand each other. And like honestly, like you can't really understand a person until you like decide to commit and dive deep. You gotta ask the questions that matter, and you gotta do the actions that matter. Like or else like there again those feelings and those thoughts that and those values they're not gonna come up. Unless like you're very awkward about it, and that's why I feel like especially for a lot of like Christian men, like it's very awkward when they ask girls out because they don't know how to, especially Christian men. I feel really bad for Christian girls because Christian men are like it's really hard for them to like differentiate between that.
Yeah.
You know, like between dating and just hanging out, you know, because it's like, you know, it's so murky, you know, and
And that's where the whole courting concept comes
Yeah,
in. But
yeah.
that's probably a topic for another
For
day.
another day.
it's just like how do you like, you know, like with this all these middle phases, honestly, like you're just gonna put more and more, and what happens is you delay it so much to the point that years have gone by and your relationship hasn't really deepened to the right level, right? And then from that moment, you either have to move on or you're you know, and like, and then it always feels like you're not getting the right man or you're not getting that, and you know.
So I have a question for Alice. What's an experience? Maybe you don't have to go into full detail about this, of like a bad chase. Like you're just like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. I'm
What
stuck
do you
in this
think- okay,
limbo.
What should a guy not do?
Or that, yeah.
Yeah, what should a guy not do?
During the chase.
Because please inform me on this.
I would
Actually,
assume
no,
a lot of guys have
Not
chased
that
you.
I'm interested, you know. Not that I need to know this.
I mean, because he's taking what,
Yeah, I'm taking.
6 years strong.
Chase. I don't
So what?
know.
Yeah, what should a guy not do?
What should a guy not do?
Or that you've experienced that you're like, wow, that was not cool.
What's creepy to you?
What's creepy
Yeah.
to me?
Okay, what if I give you these scenarios? Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be
You're
easier.
at a coffee shop. Okay, like all these things happen. They're always at a coffee shop, right? And then
All the time, all the
yeah,
time.
somebody came up to you and they're like, "Hey, you know, they give you like, I really like you. I think you know, you're awesome." Just kidding, not like that. That's like super unsmooth. But like they came up to you, they
Like
basically
a
asked you
total
out.
stranger.
Like they
Yeah,
come
it's
out with like
stranger.
2 coffees, like
Yeah, because they just like, you know, you're like, hey, and they introduce themselves and they're just, you know, casual conversation, like small talk, and they're like, hey, you know, how about we get out and get some.
I don't know. For me, I would have trust issues in that. No, like I know a lot of guys are always like, well, but if he was attractive, wouldn't you say yes? I'm like, no. Even if they are, it's like I have no idea who you are. Don't know where you come from. I don't know if you're being upfront with me or not. So
Would
it's
you
like,
say most girls are thinking that?
yeah,
Yeah.
or at least people like me, like I guess believer Christian girls. At least.
what about like a friend who's taking that next step?
Oh yeah. Like what if it's okay again the coffee shop scenario, but now it's somebody you know came up to you and they're like confessed to you on that coffee.
But then
shop.
I like haven't been talking.
Well, what goes up through your head?
I don't think I exactly experienced it. That's why I'm like
Okay.
confused. Because I've
What
I've
would the
been on
general
the
girl
other.
do?
Or what would you think you would do? Because I think people have
I
an
think-
idea.
I mean, I guess like. First, if she's a friend with him, I don't think she should or would entirely be like no, because that's gonna be hurting the guy, like losing friendship, you know, potentially. So I feel like if it were me, I would say whatever my honest feeling is. If I'm attracted, if I am. If I'm not, I'm not. And like if I want to be friends, I want to be friends,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
So there isn't
You're a good
any.
person.
Yeah, so you wouldn't leave any gray marks.
Huh?
Like maybe.
She's gonna tell the truth, okay? That's what we
No.
want. You know?
Yeah, I would be honest with where I am.
I think
What I
because
feel.
there's so many times that I think because girls, it's just like I think they're scared, like they don't want to hurt the guy's feelings.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's the number one reason
yeah.
why
You know, and
girls do these things.
I think they just again like
Or
what,
guys.
what a guy needs is like a clear answer, because if you give him a middle answer, he's gonna want to think positive and be like, oh, I can
It's a
still.
potential.
Yes.
Potential.
See, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
A maybe or a small thing will give us hope.
Yeah,
like
it's
we're
there's still
always
a chance.
Yeah.
we're always looking for a reason for
Yeah.
hope.
You have to
Right.
crush the soul
You guys got to give it straight up
straight up.
because we'll find literally
That's just
any
so
way.
harsh, though. How do you say that?
But I feel like that's what makes
Yeah.
men men.
Yeah.
You know,
Take
like
the man
because
up.
if again,
Take it.
if a man doesn't own up to his own actions like that, like he probably won't. What can you expect him to do, like in the relationship, right? Like commit to things like that. You know, just because he said no once, he's gonna give up. You know,
Right,
like
right.
especially when. Especially with girls, because girls always say the opposite of what they actually mean, and like, you know, like especially when you're in that relationship, like guys always have to be like, you have to be persistent, because that's the only way to like get past the women logic that goes on, you know, because in our perspective, there's so many experiences where you ask a question and there's no. They ask a
Response.
question to you and there's no right answer. No matter what you say, you're doomed.
It's like, stop talking.
Well, I guess enough on. I feel like we've been bashing women a lot these days.
Yeah.
On this topic, but let's move on to when guys. I think especially guys do this. I mean, girls do this as well, but guys who take advantage of the chase. And what I guess what I mean by taking advantage is
man.
because technically during the chase you are allowed to just stop talking to the person whenever you want because you're not invested. There's no DTR defining the relationship. So, guys can use that advantage to sort of test the waters with this girl, but then go on to the next one right away. Or maybe do like 2 chases at once.
Yeah, especially I think.
Gosh.
But,
Not
yeah,
that I'm speaking from experience.
saying,
Not
Are you
that I'm speaking from
I'm just
experience.
saying, again, there are a lot of men out there, especially the more experienced they are.
Terrible.
It's just it's like playing. I guess it's kind of like playing poker. You're basically like playing poker with somebody, and basically each of you are showing your cards to see what you got, and then there are people who know how to manipulate, the game enough to
Right.
again get more control in the relationship. And I think it's optimally you want to be in equal terms, but there are people who fight for that power. That they have that they're the one wearing the pants in the relationship.
Yeah.
Which I think is a very selfish thing, but
No, it's completely selfish.
I there's again I it's not like I do it but I can that's why every time if I were to give dating advice to if I had a sister, right, and give dating advice, I would just be don't trust men at all because again they can you don't know
Yeah.
if what they're gonna actually do, and just be brutal with them and upfront because that's just the only way, honestly.
What was the question?
Just I guess what is your reaction just knowing that guys, I guess not just guys, girls as well, take it using the chase to their advantage.
Oh.
Yeah, I know again I know a lot of guys who again they date to boost their egos.
That's what it is, because in the end it's trying to cover up your insecurities.
Yeah.
Because if one girl rejects you, it's you're just going to keep going to the next and next until that one likes you back, and that's what's going to make you feel good in the end.
Especially with guys, I think it's a big it's not so much in the Christian environment, but again back in art school, I would have friends, and every time you would have a again they ask a girl and they get they like her and stuff, and then they start dating, and then the first thing he'll do is he'll tell his friends, right? It's to again boost his own ego about hey this is a girl I'm dating, she's pretty, she's the pretty girl, and then they use women as these trophies to compare to other men, hey, I'm better than you, I'm the alpha, it's and I think there are men that do that, and there are bad men, but
Yeah.
luckily the men I've known here in Dallas have a lot of those.
I don't know, man. There's some dark secrets we don't know
Really,
about some
man?
people. Not that I'm
I gotta get
saying
Not
any.
that you don't know anyone
Not
like
that it's me either.
I'd rather not know that stuff, actually.
I don't know. What's your take on that, Alice? Just taking advantage of the chase.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, I've heard or known or whatever of guys that, I don't know if taking advantage is the right word, but it's more they're confused about what they feel about it too, which is why they might be talking to more than one girl and they connect in different ways, and they're just not purposely taking advantage of it, but then it's they don't know what to do with it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then a lot of the times, and the girls that are involved in it get confused and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty heartbreaking.
I think so too, because I think again, I think when a girl is broken from that kind of relationship, it hurts, it scars her more than it does for guys. I think in a different way. I think guys they're hurt, but it's not gonna change their ability to trust somebody.
Because for girls, I feel it'll hurt their self-esteem a lot.
Yeah.
Feeling so low of themselves,
Yeah.
I'm not worthy to be loved
Yeah.
or
And
getting attention. and
They
all
they
that.
they look at it more inwardly. I think that's a note for all men out there is treat women like women.
Treat women like women.
Treat them like princesses or queens.
Yeah, which is like just keep it in account.
That's a good one.
I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, John's all
No,
about
actually.
equality.
But I'm just saying,
No,
like,
yeah, don't
like,
Overwhelmed.
we should be sensitive to the fact that girls aren't built like guys and that they do take more trauma to these things. The trauma is longer lasting and it sometimes leaves a deeper scar that cannot be seen,
So I guess to conclude, do we still think the chase is necessary? Because, I mean, we've all been a part of it. I mean, some were shorter than the others, whether you want to call it the chase or not.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
do you think, to conclude with everything we just discussed, the good and the bad, I don't know if we discussed much of the good, but do you think it's necessary?
I think it is necessary in some level, honestly, but I think it's just how we do it, really.
Yeah.
It's like that needs to be more clear, just like.
So what's your ideal way, if you had to make an ideal way of
Well,
doing
I'm just
the
saying,
chase?
like, getting to know people is really hard,
Yeah.
and it's to understand people, but I think it requires a lot of trust and faith, and like, you have to be. I think as a person, you have to get to the point where you know how to like reveal yourself, and know that even though that something may try to hurt you, you won't get hurt by it. Like, and it's not to like be numb at it. Like, oh, like now I don't feel anything. It's more just like you can understand it. I think that's why, like, even if it doesn't end up working, the most important thing is like that both parties understand why it didn't happen.
Then I think it needs to be clear that the both parties knew that it was going on. If it's just one-sided, then it is going to be a scar. It's going to hurt them.
Oh, which is like that all the time. It's always one-sided.
Yeah.
It's
So
always
I
one-sided.
feel like
in
the
a
chase
sense,
needs
I don't
to
think it'll be
happen.
good.
The chases happen, but the communication has to be very upfront.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's an awkward way of doing it. You just kind of have to be like straight up about it.
Yeah.
Because again, like, if you're not straight up about it, then they're gonna do that their entire relationship. It's just gonna be, and it's gonna take a long time for which is understandable if you're not comfortable enough. But ultimately, a relationship is a risk in itself, and it's more about. I think it should be less about like, will I get hurt, but instead like, is this person worth my time, my energy, my feelings, like, is investing my time into this person.
So, yeah, is it necessary? I would say, yeah, definitely. There's probably not an exact time frame of how long it should be or what shouldn't be. It's like you said, there has to, as long as there's open communication, I guess y'all are both on the same page, it's mutual.
Yeah.
Y'all are moving forward with it in a very, like, I don't know, wise way in a sense. I think I definitely think it's necessary. There has to be, in my opinion, I think there has to be a transition from whether you go from strangers to being in a relationship or friends.
Again, like, I think it's just, it sucks doing it, but it's the foundation, and how you do it is gonna, again, like, set the pace to what's gonna transition into your actual romantic.
And I always think I don't need it. It's like, why can't we just skip to let's just go
know,
out.
yeah.
But I think in the end I really do need it because it really does prepare myself for the relationship in a sense.
And I think that's why there is things like courting and all that stuff.
Yeah. Which is, we might discuss on another day. So Alice, what's your conclusion? Do you think it is necessary?
I think it's necessary, but I don't like it being called the chase.
What would you like to call it?
Because the chase make it sound like,
Well, to
if
us,
you're
it's a
chasing
chase.
something-
Usually to us, it's a chase.
We're running and gunning.
no, girls chase too. And
To
girls
you,
get
it's
broken hearts.
follow me.
Yeah, it's like you leave little breadcrumbs for
Guys
us.
drag around girls too, just FYI. It's the same in both situations, both parties.
So what would you want to call it then instead of the chase?
I don't know, DTR. Making it more, I mean, because you guys just basically said it. You have to be, there needs to be open communication. So it's like both parties know that it's going on. Then that's not really a chase. It's like, you're doing it, you're
Open,
talking
walking.
openly talking about
Holding
possible
hands,
relationship.
walking down the park.
Which is DTR, basically, you know?
Yeah, but DTR
it's
just
like-
doesn't sound cool to me.
I don't know, it's just
the
like
DTR
chase makes it sound like the one-sided feeling, you know, like one person likes someone else and then that person has no clue. They say stuff and the person that likes that person gets hurt all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
But
So
I think,
feel like
I think
in that
that's-
in that sense, it's not necessary.
I think
That's not
that's
necessary.
the hard part about it. I think, like, again, it's you just have to. I think if you're really for that person, it's to have that courage to be like, I'm gonna be for that person rather than like, is this relationship gonna help me? You know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
so
that's just you have to. That's a risk in itself. Like, there's no way around it.
so all the single gentlemen and ladies,
Yeah.
you know, don't be scared to be in the chase. Or I guess we're not gonna call it the chase. Don't be scared to be in the DTR walk in the park.
Don't
process.
scare to be honest.
Don't
with
scare
your
to be
feelings.
honest.
Seriously,
Communicate.
Be
Just
yourself.
yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate.
Ladies, just be
Podcast.
straight up. Don't say
Yeah.
maybe.
I bashed on you, ladies, but
Yeah, I was quiet
It's
for
just
a
my
little
honest-
bit at the
honest feelings.
beginning to let you just talk.
But yeah, I think that concludes our first episode, Dating Perspectives, The Chase, or maybe we'll change the title of that. Yeah, stay tuned for the next series. I think we're trying to get guys' perspectives, girls' perspectives, married couples' perspectives on dating and their past and their experiences. So be on the lookout for that. This is the Sunday after, and my name is Dewey.
my name is Jeff.
And yeah, till the next time.